Still got party vibes going from the weekend.
Yeah, we do. Hello, Brandy. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Tim Schaus, TLS Entertainment, your premier wedding DJ with the beautiful, wonderful Brandy Harlan, your non-retired wedding planner. This is the Scoop Weddings Unveiled. And we've been kind of like going on and off for the past month or two. But again, it's been wedding season. So,
Yeah.
And we've actually had quite a couple like events together.
We have.
Or that we've been attending, or that you've attended really, and I've just been DJing.
Yeah, that's what you do when you're non-retired, retired.
Right. Because when you're attending, you're still judging everything that's going on.
Probably.
But
it's hard.
That's right. But before we get into some of those weddings and events that we've both been attending or working and attending, we want to go into what's trending right off the bat. What's trending? Because there's a lot of things that I'm really starting to see the past month and a half with all of my couples. And you've been seeing some new things too.
Yeah.
So do you want to start?
Go for it. I'll let you start.
Oh, me? Okay. Well, what's trending on the entertainment side, DJ side, when I'm planning with my couples, the last, I want to say 2 months. No, last month. The last month and a half. Well, yeah, we'll go in between. The last month and a half.
6 weeks.
The last 6 weeks, yeah. For introductions for couples or like for the bridal party and everything, introductions have been groups.
Yes.
So typically what we've seen for the past,
decade.
The last decade, the last 10 years that I've been doing this, I've on occasion, typically we will see parents of the bride and groom introduced into the reception.
Yeah,
Sorry,
parents of the couples. Yep.
Parents of the couples introduced, flower girl, ring bearers, if they are, if they're able. Then we will do couples for the bridal party. So bridesmaid X, escorted by groomsmen L, and so forth. So however that works.
Pairs, yeah.
In pairs. So please welcome bridesmaid Brandy, escorted by groomsman Tim. Please welcome brides. And then, they come out, everybody goes crazy, and then the next couple will come out in succession.
Yes.
And then, of course, then you bring out the bride and groom, and they come out. So what I've been seeing the last 6 weeks, and I just thought the first couple, I was like, oh, that's interesting that 2 back-to-back weddings have had it, but now it's been back-to-back. Mm-hmm. They said, screw the couples coming out, being introduced as couples. We are going to say, please welcome bridesmaids, and then just list them out.
Yeah,
and I feel like now that I'm talking about this, I feel like we talked about this the last episode or the episode prior.
Yeah, I think we did because we talked about how to do the timeline and things of that nature. And we were talking about the different ways that groups can come out. And I think we've mentioned it a few times, but now we're really noticing it's taking off.
Yeah. So all the bridesmaids are coming out as one group. All the groomsmen are coming out as a group. And in this case, I'm okay as a DJ playing separate songs. For the bridesmaids, one song for the bridesmaids, one song for the groomsmen, and then one song for the bride and groom or the couple that's coming out.
Yes.
Some couples don't do this. I mean, it's cool, but it puts a lot of pressure and stress on your DJ, which, I do it. But having a song for every single pairing of your bridal party.
I think I have done this to you on purpose a couple of times, made the suggestion when I was planning weddings just to kind of, spice things up.
Yeah.
And he would be like, I hate you for this.
Well, and it's okay if it's like 3 or 4 pairings, but
when it's 7,
there have been like 8 to 10 to 12 pairings. That means there's 8, 10, 12 songs that I have to
And then
play.
you're only going to get like 15 seconds.
Well, I play
weird.
I play a portion. Well, I typically will get to that. I'll play the beginning of the song, and then when I introduce them, I go to a cue point where it goes into like the chorus or like a very like upbeat part of that song.
Yeah, and that eats up a lot of time. So if you're looking at a timeline and you're crunched for time and sunset and all of that, don't do that.
Yeah, if you want to get through introductions, great. If you want it to last 15, 20 minutes, then yes, go ahead and choose a song for every single pairing. But what's trending is we are starting to see couples, doing groups, doing your whole bridal part or your whole bridesmaids as one group, groomsmen as one group, and then the couple will come out separate.
Yeah. Because I think, I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but sometimes it can be awkward, right? Because I was in a wedding the end of October and we all came out individually, but to the same song. And I'm a dancer. If y'all don't know by now, like I love
They don't know.
music. Y'all don't know. You should know. To those 5 that listen to us.
She loves to dance.
I do. Leave me on the dance floor for hours, as we do know. So I think sometimes you might be paired with someone who's not as much of a extrovert than you are. So then you're coming out and you're just got your jam going, and they're just like,
Do, 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 do.
It's embarrassing for both of you because you're trying to get the vibe going.
Embarrassing. It's just it just feels awkward.
It just feels awkward. Or that person, I experienced this as well, is married. So when I got introduced to the person that I was supposed to be walking with at rehearsal,
Ooh, you got some eyeballs at you.
I got cat claws came out. I'm just walking with the guy down the aisle. It's not that serious. But man, it was like, oh, well, I'm his wife. Oh, it's nice to meet you. Great. Because I was like, hey, I'm walking with you down the aisle. And then it was like cat claws. So I don't know if that has something to do with it too, like the whole jealousy factor or whatever. And it's just awkward all the way around these days. And I feel like we're so much more independent and liberal for most of the part, most of us. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's a broad statement, but I feel like we're just more aware, and just do it that way. Just make it into a group. Let your girl, because here's the thing, your girls or your guys have bonded as well. If they didn't know each other, they probably know each other well now because they've done bachelorette parties or bridal showers, or you've done some get-togethers or whatnot. Or maybe it's a whole bunch of high school friends and college friends that haven't seen each other in forever, and it's like, oh, we're right back to it.
Or you just met each other that day and you guys have spent all day getting ready and getting to know each other.
Yeah, and now you're like, we're vibing, like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think if you do it that way, you're going to create a different kind of atmosphere than doing the so-and-so and so-and-so, so-and-so and so-and-so. It just is awkward now, I think, anymore. So that's my 2 cents.
There you go. But yeah, that's couples. If you have a large bridal party, this is the way to go. You know, introduce your bridesmaids all at once. Introduce your groomsmen all at once.
Or bridesmen.
Or bridesmen, yes. We
Or
saw that recent.
Grooms ladies.
That haven't seen that. I've seen bridesmen. Haven't seen a group of grooms ladies though.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would fly. Well,
I don't know.
Depends on the couple, I guess. Yeah. But I highly recommend doing groups instead of pairings, especially if you have a large bridal party. Now, if you have just like 1 or 2 bridesmaids and groomsmen, or whatever that may be, then yeah, you can kind of come out in couples or pairings. What are you doing?
I'm getting my trend paperwork.
Oh, well, that looks great.
I was excited for it, but
Are we putting that on the screen?
A little, maybe. I'll flash it a little bit. I still love you guys, but they'll know who they are when they listen because they're the only ones that listen.
Oh, man.
But yeah, we've seen this trend a few times.
So another trend these are put out like for the ceremony I've seen, right? And
yeah, they
cocktail
were on
hour.
the welcome table. I think this one was the most interesting one that I've seen. So it's like a newspaper. Yes, it was in my purse. So
Wedding of the year.
That's why it's a little wrinkled. It says Wedding of the Year. It looks like a newspaper, like a one-pager, like old school newsy type newspaper.
But it's just listing a lot of things and interesting facts and information about the couple. Yeah. It's really cool, really well done.
It is.
I mean, you don't see, maybe here in Sarasota, but newspapers in general have just kind of hit the wayside. So like this really, having like a newspaper theme for, what would you like?
This is
like a welcome.
Yeah, and it also helps pass the time during cocktail hour because there are facts and fun things that maybe you didn't know about the couple, but also it's a little keepsake, and it kind of gives you a program of what's happening as well, so you don't have to have additional paper on your table, especially if you're going for a nice clean look. This is less clutter on the table because everything that's supposed to happen is in here too.
Yeah.
Talks about the bridal party, who's in the bridal party, how they met.
See, that's one of the cool things about this, and I've seen in other ways, not just like in a newspaper format or like a magazine. We saw like a couple months ago we saw it at Lakewood Ranch.
Yeah.
With Amy's wedding, they did like a magazine cover.
Yeah.
In a sense, this is more of a newspaper vibe.
Newspaper feeling too. The paper's very newspaper feel.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
But what I really like about this is, having facts about the couple, like how they met. You read some of these things on here. They're really cool.
Yes, I'm going to read.
I learned so many things about Jonathan and Maria.
Right? And they had a hashtag too.
They did?
Yeah.
I didn't read that.
Right there. Pajak Party of 2.
Well, if I had known that, I would have announced that. Darn.
So it has the order of events, and then it talks about where their guests are from. So there's like a map of the whole United States and the whole country. And it talks about who traveled the furthest and who RSVP'd first. Shout out to Seaway and Rachel Ying.
Ying Photography.
Ying Photography. They're going to be on in January.
Fellow vendors.
Podcast, yeah. And then there's fun facts, which that's part I'm going to read, okay? So 715 days of planning, 15 dresses tried on, 5 venues visits made, 10 dance lessons.
Because they did a choreographed dance, which was really well done.
Good. And the song, oh my gosh, such a good song. They chose Golden Hour. It was really good.
Yep.
And then there's an infinity sign that says meltdowns survived.
And it wasn't the bride who had the meltdowns. Jonathan. Now Jonathan Pajak has been on our podcast.
Yeah.
He's the one. He's with Lens Culture Photo and Film.
Yeah.
He's the one.
He went viral on TikTok.
He went viral on TikTok for the vows that the groom had made, and his video went viral for it.
Yeah. And then the last one is 5 Pinterest boards. And so the other fun facts is Jonathan cannot go a week without tacos. Maria can't go a day without ice cream. Jonathan's hobby is hobbies. Maria's hobby is anime and cuddling hero. Jonathan turned Maria into a golfer. Maria has adopted Jonathan to a 10-step skincare routine.
Which is amazing.
Right?
I read that and laughed out loud. Do that for your
guys, yes.
Yeah.
They created their own voices for Hero and Rosie. They both have their own businesses. They have made annual snowboarding trips a tradition. They traveled to Greece twice together, once for a wedding and then once personal. I do remember that.
Well, he's Greek.
Yes. So
his background is Greek.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're planning an epic Asia trip for 2025.
Wow.
Epic.
Yeah.
He even told me that night. I was like, so what are we having? What's the next step? He goes, trip to Asia, no kids for a while. We need to travel. I said, okay, I like that for you.
Mm-hmm.
They already have their kids' names picked out, which is why I asked the question.
Yes.
Like, what are we doing here? Are we celebrating a baby soon? He's like, no, we're traveling to Asia first. So it's really cute. It talks about their story. It talks about their pets are named in here as well, which is, their dogs, Rosie and Hero. And there's a crossword, and it talks about where they're going for their honeymoon, words of wisdom from the parents. Both the moms of mom of the bride, mom of the groom gave words of wisdom, and they included that in there. And there's just a really epic photo on the front. It's all black and white. I love this.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a newspaper.
Yeah. And then in addition to this being a trend kind of along the same lines, what I've been seeing a lot, because I'm on Pinterest looking at trends and things for my couples and for my Instagram and Facebook page for the Retreat Sarasota. I'm always trying to post trends of what's going on. The hanging magazine style entryway of photos. So it's almost like it's on bars, and it's a full photo that's kind of printed and it's all one continuous, looks like film almost. And there's multiple photos, and then some of them are higher, and it's just one banner of a photo. So it's like this staggered look of photos, but they look like they're printed on film, but just blown up into large scale at the entrance of weddings and receptions. So it looks really, really cool.
Yeah. So, with all this being said, with this particular trend with the newspaper, yeah, I DJ'd Jonathan Pajak's wedding.
Yay!
This past, just recently. And Brandy was a guest.
I was.
She was a guest. And
it's hard being a guest when you've been a vendor so long. I'm just saying.
So it was really cool to see vendors attending a wedding.
Yes.
There were a couple other vendors. Bill
and Rachel.
Bill and Rachel Ying from Ying Photography. We've both worked with them many a time.
Yeah, several years.
And so they were in attendance. There were some other vendors. I mean, yourself. Again, I was DJing. They had, for me, we went balls to the wall. We did DJ, uplighting, photo booth, cold spark effects, like everything that you could think of. And with their choreographed dance, we had those cold sparks ready to go at certain like epic points of the song. So whenever they had like big crescendos and big moments in the song and in their dance, cold sparks would go off.
Yeah. It was really good.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah. I didn't think I was going to know anybody but you. I didn't know Rachel and Bill were coming.
Okay.
But it also felt like very honorable to be one of 3 vendors that they brought as guests because they work with so many wedding vendors, right?
And I'm super, like I'm, like how, when you are a wedding vendor and you are having your wedding, so like as a DJ, who do you pick to DJ your wedding? So I'm super intrigued on how these photos are going to come out and how
the
video is going to come out.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he collectively hired. I don't think he hired one company. I think he's worked with individuals.
Well, he's worked with the photo and film or photo and video vendors before, and I think one of them brought him on to start.
Oh, did you see the girl with the
the video film?
The video film. I cannot. And then, of course, Jonathan being Jonathan, as Maria got to the end of the aisle, he had a camera.
As she's walking down the aisle.
Walking down the aisle, before he started bawling,
No, I think he was crying already.
He was probably crying. He cried many times.
So the ceremony was at a church?
Yes, at the Catholic Church off of Lockwood Ridge in Sarasota. And so he has a camera put in the back of his pocket,
which nobody knew about at that point.
Yeah, he pulls it out and gets his own photo of
from his point of view.
His point of view, and she was like, "I can't believe you did that." I go, "But Maria, think of it. He wanted to capture what it looks like from his point of view, his angle of what his wife looked like in that moment.
Yeah,
not from anybody else's perspective." She goes, "Oh, I think
that is
that way.
Awesome.
That was the sweetest thing ever." And then he was taking more photos of her outside of the church. He was really trying to capture his own angle and visual from his point.
Let me tell you, I saw a whole different side of Jonathan.
Me too.
On Saturday, which was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, so sweet.
While I was setting up, I had myself and my team there setting up. And so the wedding was at Powell Crosley in Sarasota.
Yes.
One of my favorite venues as a guest. As a as a DJ, it's not the greatest unless, I don't know. It
just has to be positioned differently.
It has to be positioned in a certain way. And I understand why DJs and entertainment companies are put off to the side and in corners at this particular venue because it's really
segregated.
It is
really boxy rooms. There isn't one just vast area. Even the vast area that's out on the lawn still has walls.
Yeah.
And it kind of is separated.
And where I was, which this was my, it was
his choice.
It was my choice
of the options
options. I could either be outside in the realm of the outdoors, and my equipment could just be battered by the sun. And shit can overheat, which I don't want. So I chose to be what I don't even know, in this little alcove.
Little corner, a little alcove,
which is covered.
It is.
And there's a wall in front of me, and there's also a little window that looks like a jail cell.
And if you look on Instagram,
oh my gosh,
Ying caught you. He was like, "Watch this."
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious.
Right into you.
I looked so sad.
You did look sad.
I was waiting for my cue.
Yeah, you were just precision paying focused. But back to Jonathan being so cute.
Yeah, no, so while we were setting up, I saw he was up in the groom's area. They were all setting up, and there's different areas of this mansion. It's an old
It's the summer home of the Crosley family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they, so they were upstairs, and he's literally, he has his camera. He's taking photos of the groomsmen doing things. I don't know. They were blasting music. Now, and again, a lot of groomsmen and even bride, grooms and the groomsmen and the bride and the bridesmaids, they will be blasting music, while getting ready. But this is just another side that I've never seen of him. Yeah. It was really cool to see him just taking in every moment of it.
And let loose.
Let loose.
Yeah.
And I did see, like, he posted on Instagram, he's like, now I understand when couples say, holy shit.
It goes by so fast.
It goes by so fast.
Yep. I tell all of my couples.
Oh, yeah, me too.
At the 2-week meeting, the day of. And then I usually tell, and this is just something I've always done, right when I get ready to position the bride or the, whoever's walking down the aisle, and I bring them out, I look at them and I'm like, okay, deep breath and take it all in because it's going to go by fast.
Yep.
So just take a deep breath and enjoy every moment. Fluff the dress, whatever it is, and down the aisle they go.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just that little simple reminder, like, okay, breathe, take this all in.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
it
then
was such a good wedding.
it really was. And for the party, the slogan for them leading up to it, to me,
Yeah.
or what they're like, hey, we want to get lit.
Get lit.
And then all day, Tim, let's get lit. I'm like, all right,
lit.
let's do it. I'm ready.
And we did.
We're going to get lit.
Yeah. So the other, it was really a really great wedding. I think I honestly have only been to 2 weddings that I was a guest at in probably the last 15 years. So I don't know if I have a proper gauge for this, but I would say that was one of the most fun weddings I've ever been to.
It was, I will say it was one of the more fun ones that I've been able to DJ in a...
like even the bartender was coming out from behind the bar, getting on the dance floor, dancing
really?
between serving. Yeah, he was in all black or whatever. And he was like, this is great.
So this is another trend that I'm seeing on the entertainment side for like music. So they made it very clear that once party started, they wanted they wanted it to be the full, no censored songs. They wanted it explicit. If it was explicit, they wanted it that way.
Exactly.
They wanted to get lit.
Yeah.
They wanted to get raunchy, and they wanted the
full Monty.
the ratchet songs. And it was funny because like we had just started, like the party just started, and Jonathan comes up to me, he's like, yo, we're ready to get ratchet. I'm like, damn, dude.
I think we always say that to you way too early.
Yeah, I'm like,
but I will say it was a continuous night of ratchet mixed with like Greek dancing. That's literally what it was. Like there was no slowdown. There was none of that. Because sometimes you have your highs and your lows. Their slowdown was a Greek dance.
Yep. And they still were getting crazy.
And they were still getting crazy. And then we would go from like 50, if it's a scale of 1 to 100, we're at 50 of a Greek dance, and then back to 100, and then 75 Greek dance, back to 100.
But yeah, the trend that I'm seeing, and this kind of reminded me of that trend that I'm starting to see, is more that couples are saying, hey, when it comes to dance, like we want the explicit songs. Now, when it comes to planning, and I feel like most DJs and entertainment companies do this. If we're not told, it'll always be clean. Yeah. All the music will always be clean. Now, unless you say, hey, we want you to play explicit, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm starting to see that more. But like the couples have to tell us.
Yeah.
But
yeah. And I mean, Jonathan's what, 30? 30?
I have no idea how old he is.
Well, one of his groomsmen's 28. I know that. He was very, very let me know how old he was.
Yes.
But so I think they're in that age group too, where there was a lot of kids there, not kids, well, I mean his age, that grew up together. There was probably,
they all met at USF.
Yeah, and there was a large group that never left the dance floor. And I think when you have like a certain number of age group that is around your age group, they're going to keep the party going and they're going to stay on the dance floor. And it seemed like the ratio was more younger than older. And I expected there to be older because they are a lot younger. I expected there to be a lot older because it's like grandmas and grandpas and, you still have those people around, but it really was a different mix.
Yeah. Well, it was funny, because I typically, in the beginning of the night for party, I will work my way into, like, I'll hit various decades and genres just to kind of get everybody involved in the very beginning. And as we get later in the night, that's when I'll start to play the more ratchet things.
No.
Well, I started to play, again.
Traditional Greek dance is what we.
Well, I opened the dance floor because that's what they wanted. They wanted me to open up with the traditional Greek dance, and then I went into. I think like 24 karat, 24 karat magic, or 24, by Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
And like, bounced around some different genres and decades and so forth. And and then shortly after that, Jonathan's like, all right, it's time to get ratchet. I'm like, okay, here we go. And so we did. And at that point is when I started seeing the older demographic leave.
Or they sat way in the back at the back tables on the lawn.
Yeah, they were just,
now,
I think that was just the parents.
I will say that sitting, eating dinner, I loved their dinner playlist. It was very good. The instrumentals that they chose.
That was cocktail hour.
Or cocktail hour. And during dinner too, there was some really nice. I feel like their songs were songs that are current but instrumental versions, which is what I do love a lot of that. I felt like I knew a few of them. But after sitting there eating and after the cake was cut, I went to go sit back down. I don't know what I was doing. I may have been getting ready to change the shoes, maybe. But it was like I sat there and it was like, oh, wait, this is a good one. And then I never sat back down again.
Oh, the dancing? Oh,
yeah,
well, that's good. That means I did a great job.
I only sat down, I think, to maybe go get, I don't know, put my purse, I don't know, something with my phone or my purse or something. But I didn't go to like sit.
Yeah.
Like there was not a time that I wasn't on the dance floor, but maybe at the bar.
Yep. And it got to the point where, the bar dance floor. And
that was it.
You would probably go into the bar because it was an AC.
Yes. I did go in there to cool down and hit the photo booth and then right back out.
So by the end of the night, Jonathan and his groomsmen, well, Jonathan still had his shirt on, but it was completely unbuttoned.
And he helped several people he went around
unbuttoning.
He's like, where's Maria? Because he couldn't get his tie off. And so I went and got her, and she came out and she helped him get his tie off and he unbuttoned his shirt. And then literally I have a video of him going around and helping all the guys unbutton their shirts.
He was Maria's a little intoxicated.
Why is my brother shirtless? I was like, I don't know, girl. That happened a while ago.
And I'm so proud of this. So for Amy's wedding, we're going to go back to September. Amy's wedding at Lakewood Ranch. Apparently I helped rip 3 pairs of pants.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Okay. 2 or 3 pairs. And I also ripped Jonathan's $3,000 suit pants.
Yep. Yeah.
Shout out to Tweeds.
He's coming for a repair. Oh yeah, good thing he had a backup pair. I don't know why he thought he had a backup pair of pants.
He ripped his pants.
I mean, he's got some junk in his trunk though too. Like he's got a booty. Like of course you're gonna rip him because he was down on the ground doing all these Greek.
He was
dances.
having a great time,
and so was she.
Yeah, they both were.
They were just loving every bit of it. They were so cute.
And couples, if you want people to dance, you guys have to be out on the dance floor.
Yes.
You may not be dancers, but just get out there and have some fun, enjoy it. Because when your guests see you, the couple, out on the dance floor enjoying yourselves, they're going to come and join you. And
who's to say what's dancing and what's not dancing?
Right.
What isn't dancing? We saw so much variety in the dancing moves that and this one lady's like, "Yep, I'm married to him." I go, "At least he's dancing."
Yeah.
Because I mean, when half of you, you and a partner, when only half of you is dancing, it's not fun. Trust me, I've been there. But you need that person on the dance floor with you too. And it's like everybody should just be out there doing their best effort because nobody's gonna remember what dance you did or didn't do or how well or how great it was or wasn't. So. Just enjoy it. Have some fun with it.
I got many I love yous and kisses on my neck from Jonathan.
Dude is way more emotional than I thought he ever was emotional.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He loves his woman.
Jonathan, Maria, congrats to you guys. Your wedding was awesome. I loved every minute of it.
Yes.
And let me just tell you like how stressful it is DJing or being a part of another wedding professional's wedding.
Yes.
Because every wedding again is a Super Bowl. Like we look at it as a Super Bowl for every couple that we work with.
This was like Super Bowl, Stanley Cup, Final Four, like everything. Just
like Amy's. Over at Lakewood Ranch. It's anytime I get the privilege to DJ, provide entertainment for another wedding vendor, for another wedding professional. It's an honor, and so but I feel like I have to be like double on my game. Because they've seen me in action before, so like they've seen me kill other weddings. Now I need to like double kill theirs, and exceed any expectation that they have.
Well, I already told you if I ever get married again, you're not DJing. You get to be a guest and while out, but you also get to sign off on who my DJ will be.
I guess.
Yes, that's how that works.
All right.
You never get to be a guest.
That's okay.
It's not.
I get to party with everybody.
I know, you get to
just
party
behind,
hard.
just behind the DJ booth.
You get to party.
It was fun.
It was fun. Something else that I found over the weekend, I think I was just scrolling through either TikTok or Facebook Reels, and I'd never heard of this. This is from actually a UK wedding planner, and I'm going to pull up her name so that I don't misquote her because I don't want to. Her name is Georgie, founder of Georgina Rose Events, and she is out of the UK. And I heard this, and I was like, what in the world does that mean? So I'm going to say something, so y'all don't be all shocked when I say it. But this is something.
It's an acronym.
It is an acronym, but this is something the partner should text to the other partner the day of. So
the day of the wedding?
The day of the morning of. So if it's male, female, the man would text this to the female, because this applies to more of the female or the one carrying the flowers and things of that nature. So these are very, very cute little acronyms, but it says blow me.
That's the acronym. That's what it spells.
BLOWME. Okay, so don't forget to blow me is what the text should say. And this is just a cute little reminder. So let's go through what the letters mean. Don't forget to blow me. So B is bouquets out of water. That means get the bouquets out of water and like use a napkin or some type of paper to dry them off on the bottom so that you don't have drippies going down the front of the wedding dress or the outfit
during the ceremony.
And the bridesmaids bouquets too.
Now how?
About an hour before.
An hour before the ceremony.
35, 40 minutes, I would say, is really better. That's what I do.
Okay.
And I've done this as the planner before too. So this is really good for planners too. Remember, blow them or blow me.
Oh,
remember, blow me.
Okay.
All right. L is low. Flowers around the lady garden area. So don't have the flowers when the bridesmaids are carrying their flowers. Don't have them up around the chest area. They need to go closer down towards the lady garden area.
All right. So when the bridesmaids are walking down the ceremony,
yes,
have the flowers being held lower.
Yes, lower. Near
below,
the lady garden
below
level.
the breastage area.
Yes. I love how she calls it lady garden, though.
The lady
garden level. And then
O
is 1 hour before they need to be in their dresses. Everyone needs to be dressed and ready to go 1 hour before ceremony.
Bridesmaids and groomsmen, or just bridesmaids?
Bridesmaids and bride in her dress 1 hour before. Don't be putting on your dress 20 minutes before you're supposed to walk down the aisle. So bridesmaids should already be in their dress, and then they can assist the bride get in her dress at least 1 hour before ceremony, especially if you're doing photos, then an hour before photos or 45 minutes before photos.
Yeah, that way you can just chill, you can relax, you can
not forget anything.
Tie
all the ties, button all the buttons, zip all the zips, all the things.
I mean, be ahead of schedule.
Yes.
Like, try not to wait till the last minute, and not to get off track here. But that's why, me personally, for my entertainment company, that's why I show up 3-4 hours prior to the ceremony start to set up.
Yeah.
It may only take me an hour to maybe 2 hours max to set up, but I want to have that extra time just to fine tune things and make sure I didn't forget anything, and
to take a breath.
And then all right, well, now I can relax. And when the time's ready, like, we can go.
Exactly.
So that is a great, I like that for when getting ready.
So that's the O in blow. So W is wrists and ankles. That means hair ties, any kind of bandit, any kind of like hair bands, anything like that. Check your wrists and ankles. Make sure you don't have anything that shouldn't be on mainly your wrists.
Guys, check your flies.
Yes.
Before you walk down.
Yes. Like
the aisle.
And also watches. Like if you have a watch, what was that vibration?
I don't know.
If you have like a watch tan line, then go ahead and make sure that like, oh, did I wear my watch? Am I wearing my watch? What does that look like? Do I need to check your wrist? Okay.
And your flies.
That is such a weird vibration.
It's just, I don't know what's going on. Continue.
Continue. All right, that's BLOW. So bouquets,
so that's blow.
Blow. And then M is move engagement ring. A lot of couples don't do this. A lot of brides don't do this, and a lot of they don't remember. So I do try to remember to tell them. Engagement ring gets switched from the left hand to the right hand because the wedding band goes on and then the engagement ring goes on top. So, or you can have them, if they're soldered together, you can have them together, but don't forget to move your engagement ring if they're not together so that they can be placed. Your band can go on first, and then you can move your engagement ring over very discreetly at the aisle.
Huh, interesting.
Last is E for the last part of me, and energy. Bring the energy. Get your people hyped up. Have one of your bridesmaids or groomsmen as your hype person, right? Play a hype song. Get hyped up. I know when we got ready to walk out for Lindsay's wedding, we were all like tossing back our last shot of champagne, and we were like just amped up, super excited. I was the hype person. Played like a quick excerpt from one of our songs that we enjoyed during the bachelorette party, and we just like got that energy up. We're like, all right, let's go. Like, we got this. Get that energy up.
Yes, get that energy up, but do not
Overdrink during the day.
drink prior to the ceremony or even during the reception. Jonathan, I think he said that he was feeling a little good.
Yeah.
Before the ceremony.
I mean, okay, so I saw him outside the church, and I was like, hey, how you doing? He looked hella nervous, right? And I was like, you nervous? How you feeling? And he's like, to be honest, I'm a little tipsy.
Oh, no.
He's like, I'm a little buzzed. He goes, I think I went a little too hard at getting ready. I said, look at me. And he looked at me. I said, when she hits that aisle, you will sober up so quickly, it won't even matter.
Yeah.
Just do what you do. He was but I think it was also, so when you drink, all of your emotions are heightened anyway. So when you drink a little too much and then you add nervousness on top of it, you got like a double whammy.
Oh, man.
So get kind of there because all of your emotions are going to, get you the rest of the way, and you're going to feel some kind of way at the end of the
Yeah, there's
aisle.
a wedding where I had a bride. They were doing shots and shots before the ceremony.
Yep, been there.
And then during cocktail hour, while they were taking photos, the bridesmaids and the groomsmen were just feeding her shots and shots. And so we had to extend cocktail hour so she could try and sober up. We had to, the introductions were probably pushed by 30, 45 minutes.
I remember Jonathan shot a wedding for me once where they did a shot at the ceremony, but she was drinking beforehand. And then they were so X-rated kind of during their post-ceremony photos that he had to be like, yeah, I got everything I need. And then she sat in the bridal suite and just stayed there. Like, she was just like, yep, not doing this.
Damn.
Yeah, so don't overdo it.
Yeah, don't.
But yeah, I thought that was a cute acronym, Blow Me.
Blow me. So the groom should send that to his bride.
Yeah.
Or bridesmaids should send that to the bride.
Yeah, don't forget to blow me. Like, whoever you want it to come from, it's totally up to you, but don't forget to blow me.
Goodness.
I love it. Gotta love those people in the UK.
That's
And the
right.
way they explained it with the accent was even better. The lady garden.
The lady got it.
The lady garden. And then we're talking a little bit about vendors, right?
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to just put this out there. Jonathan shared a few things with me regarding wedding planning that he wished he'd known. So I think that, and it kind of gave me the idea like, all right, this is for vendors and this is also for clients when you're booking your vendors. And it came down to who he was choosing for catering, right? So a lot of vendors will give you their best price, or they'll be on a list at a venue and they'll have a price range listed. So for instance, if you go to a venue and they have a caterer's preferred list and you can only go off of that list, instead of just picking like what the ranges of those vendors, the one in the middle, get price quotes for every single one for everything that you need. So for instance, oh, thank God that thing ended. My ADHD was about to woo. So I did not know this. So at the Powell Crosley, I think they have 5 caterers that you get to choose from.
Yes.
And everything goes through the caterer. So for instance, your chair rental, your linen rental, lighting, your cake, it all has to be approved and it goes through the caterer. So even though sometimes pricing may look one way, once you start adding on these other things, it adds to your total. And then that vendor could end up costing way more than what you had originally thought because of all the add-ons. So when you are going venue shopping, ask those questions about, can you give me a sample of what a quote would be with these extras? Or can you quote me for a middle of the range and a high-end wedding setup with cake, lighting, and things of that nature? If you know that those things go through that particular vendor, they have to have sample totals and pricing and quotes, just so that you can compare apples to apples. And vendors, I think it is your job to do your due diligence and be very transparent as much as possible with your clients. When they say that they're working within a certain range of a budget, and then they start adding all these things on, it is okay to say to them, okay, I understand you're working within a budget, and that budget was this. This is going to exceed the budget. Are you okay with it? And this is what that looks like. Because having surprise charges in the excess of $3,000 to $4,000 show up 2 weeks before your wedding or a week before your wedding is absolutely just not good integrity and not good business. And what if the couple was not able to pay for that? Or how did that happen? Like, why did that happen? And then you're stressed out a week before your wedding. So vendors, get your final payments 2 to 3 weeks before. Make sure everything's finalized. Don't wait the week before, because the closer you get to a couple's wedding day, the heightened their emotions are. They've got family, they've got opinions, they've got logistics, they've got the little things that they forgot and whatnot, and you're adding to that level. You don't want to be that person. So I know that specifically happened, and so it can be really frustrating to know. And then vendors, if you're upcharging certain things, keep it reasonable. Like, we get that there's admin costs. We get that there's, paperwork and making the phone calls and arranging, but you signed up for that. So if you're the head honcho, for instance, and the planner's not, in this case, catering, and you're doing all that legwork, you need to account for that. But do it don't try to gouge people, especially those.
Yeah, there was some price gouging that we found out about.
Especially for those that are in the industry. And I'm not
We all talk, by the way.
Yeah, and I'm not saying you have to give them the world and not charge them. But what I am saying is that exactly what Tim just said. We all talk, and I was completely shocked at the price gouging and the last minute $3,000 to $4,000 in excess charges that came across the table a week before a wedding. Yeah, that was just I was speechless. I would have, and honestly, I've never worked at that venue. I don't know. I love that venue. I would consider it if I ever got married again to get married there. But I don't know that I would now after this experience.
Well, maybe you just wouldn't use that particular caterer.
Exactly. Yeah, I would definitely. And now you all know. So ask those tough questions, because it's the job of you, the client, and you, the vendor, to come together and ask tough questions. We know it's hard. It's about money, and money's always a tough, topic anyway, and stressful. But at the end of the day, do you really want a bad review and for all of that to come back on to one person and be responsible for that feeling a week before the wedding? Probably not. It's easier just to have those tough conversations. And if you don't know how, and you've just maybe purchased a company or just started running a company, or you just started a company and you don't know how to have those navigational type conversations, I do it all the time. Tim does it all the time. Find another professional that has to have those tough conversations and ask them okay, how do I handle this? And what does this look like? And at the end of the day, do what's best for you and the client. Don't give them the world, because, when you give them an inch, they take a mile. But just be, have that integrity and do what's best for both and meet somebody in the middle. It's kind of like my shoebox, because I was also sent other things today via email that was oh, I'm not helping figure out that issue for you. Do what's best practice. And it's just because I choose not to. But I think asking those tough questions is very important to making sure that you don't have any surprises the week of the wedding.
Amen.
Yeah.
There you go.
We do all talk. When you hire another vendor to do a job for you, we can call that vendor and get
Right,
the
especially
real
when we
price
work with that vendor
all
often.
the time. We know what things cost.
If you guys are wondering, we're not going to tell you. So
Yeah, we're not going to get too much into it too much.
we just know that basically the things were white labeled and there was some price gouging and not the greatest, especially when we work with everybody.
And when that photographer has shot there hundreds of times.
Right.
Like, it's just what it is. Something else I will say about timing. I know we talked about this a couple weeks ago. When, and this goes back to, I think, catering, just recognizing this, is when you have a Catholic mass or some type of religious ceremony that's going to take a couple of hours. Say it happens midday after lunch but before dinner. When everyone arrives, just expect them to be really ravenous. Like, they're hungry. So making sure that you talk about that with your couples and making sure that, okay, we need to make sure that what we do as an appetizer is heavy enough because the people haven't eaten. And when you don't have that food readily available and it's not a heavy appetizer, it can seem like a missed point. Like it fell flat a little bit. So
does that fall on the caterer or on the couple?
That falls on the caterer to make that.
Not guiding the couple correctly?
Exactly. Not guiding them correctly because you got to think the client's never done this before. They don't know. And even
though Jonathan's been in it, doesn't mean that he's been on this side of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so don't assume vendors that when you're doing a wedding for another client, a client that is in the industry, that they know everything, that they've been to things and they've experienced it all because they're normally working during that time frame. And so maybe they just don't. So just be that guide for them. I think we've kind of lost sight of that as vendors sometimes, that we just keep going and then we know it's season and we're just like go 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 go, but we also have to take that time to guide the people to create the best experience. And it's okay to say, you know what, ceremonies at this time, it's after lunch, but it's few hours after lunch, but it's a few hours before when dinner normally would, especially with daylight savings. You're going to need something a little heavier in the appetizer section. Why don't we do X, Y, and Z instead?
Yeah.
That's going to make everybody happier and hold them over to dinner. And I think that's a normal kind of conversation that should be had too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
That's 2 cents.
That's maybe more than 2 cents, maybe more
That's
than
your
anybody
10
wanted
cents.
to hear. That's like $1. Y'all got $1. And I'm not, I don't know everything. I don't pretend to know everything. But from experience, now being on this side as a guest, like I said, it's quite different. And I keep thinking logistically, how would this have been better? How could this have been better for the client? And it's not on the client. It's really on the vendor, just to make sure.
Yeah. And I will say a win for the caterers on this one.
Yes.
A win for the caterers on this one. Thank you and shout out for feeding your vendors
Full meals.
Well, no, not even that. Feeding us.
Period.
Well, before and or with the guests.
Oh, that is a plus. And you ate like what we ate.
Right. I mean, now any meal. Let me just take this. Any meal that we are provided is thoroughly appreciated.
Absolutely.
Very much appreciated. I don't expect the world. However, when I hear this so often, when caterers say, "Oh, you're going to get fed after everybody else eats," why? Mm-hmm. Because when everybody else is eating and they're done, now we're eating. Well, now everything else is happening.
Exactly.
So you're giving us. I mean, again, we appreciate the meal,
of course,
but now we won't be able to eat it.
Yeah.
Because now we have toast, we have cake cutting, and for the DJs, we are running the show from this point forward. So if anything, DJs and photographers really should be the first ones to eat before or with the guests.
Yep.
And
as soon as the couple gets their plate, I used to send the photographer and DJs through, and then I'd call my first table, or you'd be like within that first couple of table mix.
So for plated meals, plated meals should have like those meals should be ready for those vendors. For those,
I kept texting you like, "Hey, are you gonna come eat with me?" Because there was a plate of food like next to me.
I don't know if that was for me or not.
Abandoned or not. Well, he moved seats and then they served him over there, so I still had an extra plate of food. I was like, "Are you gonna come eat with me? Is this what you're eating? Come eat."
I didn't see any of that.
And he's like, "I already ate." He comes out and I was like, "But what did you eat?" He goes, "Same thing you ate." I was like, "Okay, good."
Yeah.
I was really trying to make sure.
But I will say, this past weekend, yes, the caterers, that was a win for the caterers that they fed all the vendors.
Yes.
Well, at least the photographer, videographer, and DJ, we all ate really before
Probably
guests.
before I even got my plate,
Yeah.
And their staff was really super sweet, like super easy. They actually brought, because they had extra salads because we were quite hungry at our table. And they
savages over there.
I mean, they brought us like 4 extra salads, but it was like, they were smaller, but even some parents that were at our table were like, "Yeah, can we get another salad?" So I think Rachel ate like Bill's salad and another one. I ate 2.
That's funny.
We just needed something, right? And so they were super sweet. They're like, "Yeah, we got extra salads. We'll bring them out for you. No problem." That's less work than they have to deal with. But they're like, "We don't normally do that, but we'll do it." And I was like, "You guys are the best." Bartenders were super awesome. The staff was super nice. They were accommodating, very easy, and they weren't obtrusive, because you know how some catering staff can be very like in your face and in your way all the time. They were like in and out. They were like ninjas.
Yeah.
But I think it's just on that other ahead of planning side, not the execution side. They executed everything very, very well.
They did great.
Absolutely.
Previous weeks, with weddings that I've done, there were plated dinners, and honestly, I wasn't sure if we were eating or not.
That's always a iffy thing when they're plated.
I just caterers. We need to get another caterer on here. Just so I can get.
Because Cornerstone said they make sure.
But I want to get their perspective. Yeah. Just because I want to see what their thought process is, and why they feel like guests come before the wedding vendors and those professionals. However, in order for us to continue with our job, and if we are included in that meal plan, we really should be thought of like, okay, let's get these vendors out first, and then we'll take care of everybody else, because then once we're done eating, they're still eating, and we can get ready for the next all the next formalities.
And maybe it's just an information delay, right? Like maybe they just don't know.
But why?
And they don't think that way, right? They think, okay, couple guests experience first. So maybe it's just like more of an educational thing where you have to kind of just educate some caterers. But also, I've experienced quite a few different caterers too. And sometimes what they do is they assign like a server. not like a bar back, but maybe the person that's going around collecting plates, because they don't have plates to collect, right? So they give servers to drop the plates, but then they may have a backup person that's just like maybe carrying the tray. Then maybe they're not as experienced as one of the main servers. Have them assigned to your vendors to just drop their food off.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
right?
definitely. So
that they're done at the same time. And then that person that doesn't really have like a role at that moment can go ahead and get ready to do whatever's next and assign vendors one person to get all of their food to them.
And caterers, it's okay to offer hors d'oeuvres during cocktail hour to your wedding vendors.
Yeah,
just
exactly. Saying. Yeah, it is good. But I think
PSA.
I think we're just learning by being on this side, or at least I am learning by being on this side. And I'm a logistics person, so for me, I'm like, okay, how can this be better? How can we explain how this experience can be better on both sides? Like clients, this is what you should be asking for, and these are the hard questions you should be asking, and vendors, this is the hard conversations you should be having with the client, because at the end of the day, it's going to make for a better overall experience.
Amen. Yeah. Amen.
Yeah. So what else did you do this past weekend?
That's it.
That was enough.
Well, no, I had a wedding. I had a wedding Friday.
Oh yeah, you were in St. Pete.
I was in St. Pete at the Bellwether Beach Club, Bellwether Beach Resort. Thank you. Which was really, it was. It's a really cool. It was an easy wedding. Yeah, it was nice.
You said the load in was like.
the valet
Shout
there,
out to them.
Yeah, shout out to the valet team at Bellwether Beach Resort. They guided me to where I should go. They didn't stick me somewhere. I mean, granted, there wasn't like much space, but they kind of like guided me to where to drop, have my trailer, take all my stuff, which I had to go up to the 11th floor, the penthouse.
Oh gosh.
The penthouse ballroom, and it was super simple. They're like, all right, just go park over there, and you're good to go. It was simple.
Nice.
And it was the hardest part was just waiting for the elevator to get my stuff like going up and down the elevator, but that was it. But that was a really fun wedding. So yeah, then we had Jonathan on Saturday. We were also out at Crooked River Ranch.
Oh, can we talk about the cake?
No. Yes, we can. I mean,
another question that clients should be asking is the AC situations in specific places and storage thereof. Because isn't there only like 3 places that have AC, I guess?
at this venue,
Yeah.
I have no idea. I've
know.
been there a few times.
I just know what the picture said.
Beautiful venue.
Yeah.
Joey took a photo. He was in the restroom at this venue, and he was as perturbed as I think we all were when we saw this photo or
Yeah.
video, I should say. He took a video of him like he was in the
Very nicely decorated bathroom.
it was a
Very nice.
beautiful venue.
It is,
Just
yeah.
this one thing, I just didn't understand it.
Maybe they can explain it. I don't know.
I don't know if they want to, or we're calling them anyway.
I guess we are.
So Joey's in the bathroom. He's taking a video of himself, and then he pans the camera down to where the cake is. The cake was in the restroom.
And it couldn't. I mean, maybe it wasn't the venue that did it.
I don't
know who did
We
it.
don't know who did it. We're not calling anybody out on that
No.
aspect, but,
No, but
all we know
why?
is the cake was in the bathroom.
And we don't understand why.
I'm assuming because it was probably one of, if not the only, spot for AC.
That's what we understand to be.
Because
Yes.
I don't think that barn has AC in it.
Yes.
I don't know.
That's just- yeah. No, you don't do that.
But other than that, I think the wedding went great. The wedding was awesome. Joey,
I'm
of
sure
course.
the cake was fine too. It's just odd. Just
Yeah.
things that go,
Let's see here. So Joey was at Crooked River Ranch. Let's see. DJ Cloud, he was out at Horse Creek Camp out in BFE.
Y'all were at some places this
Some
weekend.
country places, and I felt bad for him, and honestly, the couple. I feel like they had a good time from what Jason told me, but like all the guests left at like 8:00, and and it had nothing to do with him. It was just, I don't think.
Sometimes it's the
guests,
drive.
yeah.
If it's a really far drive, and if you have older demographic,
I don't know
It was just maybe
the age.
imbalance.
I don't know the age demo for it, but
Yeah.
I think he was done early. I think he was done by like 9 or 9:30, just because everybody was gone, and it had nothing to do with him. Like
Yeah.
he's a great DJ, and he could throw a party, but I just don't think that they were wanting
Maybe they
to.
pre-gamed too
I
much
don't-
the day before.
Sure. There
We'll
we-
go with that.
And then so that was Jason was out there. Oh, and Carolina was at Mixon's.
Yes.
And she got rave reviews. Carolina always does a great job with weddings and any events that she does. We didn't have her back on.
But I will say, in regards to Carolina being there, she got to be a part of history.
Oh, Jen's history.
Jen's history. So as many of you know,
I don't think many people do,
I
but
don't know. Whoever listens, my bestie is Jen. She is or was. Now she's retired with me.
is she not doing any more weddings?
No, she's done.
See, this is
I might be able to persuade her to do some weddings with me, because she and I actually haven't planned a wedding together in a long time, and I really miss that dynamic. But yesterday was her last wedding.
Yes, Saturday.
Saturday. 187 people at Mixon Farms.
Mixon Fruit Farms.
And
the pavilion at
the
Mixon's.
pavilion at Mixon Farms. And so, it was her last wedding.
And Jen has been a part of Mixon's for a very long time, going back to when you were there.
When I started, I corralled her in. Sure did.
So this is her, and you've been gone for what, 3 years now? 4?
It was August of 21.
Oh, so no.
22.
We're in 23 right. No.
No, 2020? No, 2021. August of 2021 is when I left Mixon in the office. My last wedding was June of 2022.
Really? You were only at Bishop for a year?
Year and some change. I started August the 9th, the day after my wedding anniversary.
Oh, okay.
So yes, 3 years since I was been in the office, but my last wedding was June of 2022. So I left August of 21. Sorry.
Okay, 21. So it's been 2 years, 2.5, almost 3 years.
Yeah.
2.5 years. Yeah. So Jen did her last wedding there, but Carolina had a DJ'd a wedding there and killed it. They had a blast. It was a beautiful wedding. I mean, I love it at Mixon's. I am just so sad that it's just kind of.
I know. It is sad.
It's not what it used to be.
It hurts the heart.
It does. It really does. And it's just not.
And I just wish, honestly, that somebody would come along and say, stop. Let us take this and make it a wedding venue.
I mean, keep it a wedding venue.
And keep it a wedding venue and really do it justice. I just keep waiting for somebody to do
It's just, it hasn't been the same ever since you left. And many wedding professionals say the same. So not to give you a big head or anything.
Though. They had Jen.
Yeah, they had.
Yeah.
Yes.
And honestly, she and I are like yin and yang. So where I was more like a little more OCD and painting the dream and
and the personality. Not that Jen doesn't have personality, but
she was more like she's logistics. She can tell you how wide something is and how big it is, and if something else is going to fit in that area and how it's going to look. Like she's very like measurement focused. Like she's very good at that. We do have the same 2 rules though when it comes to planning. We don't do bows and we don't do tulle.
You don't do bows?
No, we won't tie a bow on.
Gotcha.
Nothing.
And tulle.
Anything.
Got it. THULE, tulle.
Yes.
I learned that.
Wait, no, it's not. It's TULLE. Tulle, not TH.
Oh, I thought it was THULE. Well, that's how it was given to me during a bridal show that I had to announce.
Really?
Yes, THULE.
TULLE. Yep.
What is it? TULLE?
Tulle.
All right, hold on.
We need to Google it.
We need to fact check this.
Shout out to Jen. We're gonna have her on as well, and we'll have her on to recount her years because we've been planning for 17 years to go. Like, because when I started, she started. Because I really wrangled her into wedding planning as soon as I started. But shout out to her. I know she did a wonderful job. It's bittersweet, but you earned that break, girlfriend.
You're right. It is TULLE. THULE is an actual brand of products for best.
Oh, God.
It's bike racks and rooftop.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that brand.
Maybe that's why I thought that.
But yeah, so we'll have Jen on. But yeah, great wedding at Mixon's. I know she's definitely enjoying the break for now until I can rope her into another wedding.
Telling you.
Hashtag it's handled. That's our hashtag.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was Carolina.
That was Carolina.
We guys had a busy weekend.
Yeah, we had a very busy weekend, and we have just a few weddings left to end out 2022.
Can't believe
I know.
Almost to the end.
It's crazy.
What episode is this?
35 maybe?
35,
I have no idea.
Like
we're up there though.
It's December.
Yeah. So this upcoming week we've got 2 holiday parties.
I have a holiday party this week.
This weekend is going to be crazy for holiday parties.
Yep.
Holiday parties. We've got an after party for a wedding.
Oh, fun.
Which is going to be fun. It's only an hour long at the after party. It's from 10 to 11.
All right.
So we've got, I think, like 5 total events and weddings this weekend. And then we've got a bar mitzvah next week. And then nothing that weekend because, actually, no, I take it back. I have a wedding on the 17th on my birthday.
Yay! On Timothy's birthday.
And then following that, nothing on Christmas weekend, I don't believe. And then we've got 1 wedding on the 30th. I just got an inquiry for the 31st at the retreat.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody's...
2024.
Oh, it's next year.
Yeah, 2024.
It's not this year.
It's not this year. Was it Molly? It's 2024.
Yes, Molly Amuso.
Yes. So she came to me and she booked this past week. And I was like, so wait, we're having a wedding in 31 days? Because they toured back in like September. And she goes, oh no, we realized that we can't plan a wedding in 60 days. So it's next year. I was like, oof. Because this whole entire time I knew they were coming in to do their booking that I thought we were planning a wedding in 31 days. And I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah, they said they want it's approximately from 4:30 to 10, possibly until midnight, depending.
Yes, because they're going to do a casino-themed midnight after party. From 10 to midnight, it's casino-themed indoors, and then we're going to have the countdown on the TV screens. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Interesting.
But nothing this New Year's Eve?
No, I haven't.
My first year without a New Year's Eve wedding, too.
It's not that I haven't gotten inquiries. I've been I've been price gouging.
Well, because
I want to. I mean,
a holiday.
It's the biggest.
Yeah.
Holiday
and
for
most places upcharge for
100%.
New Year's Eve, so you're not in like the lack of.
But if somebody wants us, they're definitely going to have to pay for us because a lot of us. I mean,
that's your one night to enjoy the new year, hopefully.
So,
yeah.
That's that.
Today's episode was a Mod Podge of things.
A Mod Podge of things, yes. And we do have some guests coming up. We've got the Yings coming on from Ying Photography.
In January.
We will be
Jen
having
coming in.
Jen will be coming in. We're going to have Jonathan Pajak and his beautiful wife Maria. We're going to have Amy back on from Lakewood Ranch to talk about her wedding, and we've also we're going to be talking about photo booths coming up.
Yeah, we have that guest coming on.
Photo booths and the different styles of photo booths that you've got, like 360 photo booth. You've got like your digital. You've got your mirror photo booth. You've got like
the
ones
handheld ones. Have you seen the ones where they walk around?
Those are like the mobile handheld ones. There's a lot of. There's a Mod Podge of different types of a Mod Podge of different types of photo booths. Yeah. But we're gonna talk to a company that has the 360 photo booth and kind of learn more about that because that seems to be like the new trend for photo booths. Yeah,
I've seen that quite a bit, and it does take some like getting used to understanding how they work when you are participating in one or when you're using it yourself. So excited to have that. And then shout out to any caterers that want to come on and florists.
We've been talking about this all year.
We really need a florist to come in and mansplain florals to Tim. And
you ain't got to mansplain anything.
They're so necessary.
I understand that florals
take up a lot of money.
They do. And then they just get thrown in the trash. What memories do you have of florals? What florals do you remember at the wedding this weekend?
This weekend?
Yes.
I remember the flowers.
Where?
They were on the columns along the rim of the entrance. They were down the center of the tables in a garland, and they were all white and greenery.
All right, you would because you're a damn planner.
And she had ranunculus in her bouquet.
All right, you are the wrong person to ask on that. The only ones that I remember are the flowers on the columns because I had to uplight them. That's the only reason why I remember them.
And then there was flowers along the walls.
I don't remember.
Down the center of the table.
Nope.
The whole entire seating chart had florals in little glass vases that were all white. Okay. And then the photo when you first walked in, it had their name. It was like a box, and they had all the florals along the base and the top. It was like a whiteboard.
That's it. I don't. Yeah.
Shout out to my florist. Y'all need to come in and this has been fun.
This has been fun. One more thing.
We do love our vendors.
We do. We love all of them.
We just want to make sure that, well, not make sure, but we just want to lend advice from this side of the table of the, because maybe they just don't know or, and honestly, it's better to come this way, I think, rather than it be like a bad review.
True. Yes.
We don't want that for you. That's
right. And one more thing. 2024 is coming up.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. Already.
And you're helping me plan something.
I am.
In August, TLS Entertainment is coming up on 10 years.
Yay!
10 years. And we're going to be throwing a 10-year anniversary party.
Throw it down.
And it's going to be 90s versus 2000s theme.
Yes.
And just think like jock jams.
Yes.
All I want to do is throw a party for everybody. That's all I want to do. I want to have
all
a
he
good
wants.
time. Maybe do like a little like shout out to everybody at the event.
The different DJs.
Well,
switching it
all of the
out.
DJs are going to come out. Yeah.
Do a little segment. Yeah.
The DJs, like, yeah, I mean, have anybody who's been associated with TLS is I would hope is going to be there, especially like the DJs.
Yeah.
You're gonna have the photo booth, DJs. We're gonna hopefully reach out to Weber. I haven't reached out to Weber yet.
I'll do that.
And see what 90s and 2000s themed props they have that
I
we
already
can
know.
Yeah.
It's
That we
gonna
can
be so
use from your 40th birthday party, right?
Yeah, my 40th. So yeah, they've got the disco ball. They've got a Rubik's Cube, a big giant Rubik's
The
Cube.
Rubik's Cube is
It's
definitely,
huge. They've also got the boombox facade that goes in front of your DJ
I don't think I'd want to
stand.
use that in front of the DJ booth, but
use it
I think I would
somewhere else,
use it maybe as like an entryway of some sort.
Yeah. You could totally have them do that and then the big TLS backdrop coming out of it, like a shadow box. for a
Should I
welcome sign.
do for attire like a TLS themed like jumpsuit?
Yes, you should have it logo printed.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like the Zach Morris.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put the TLS.
Who do I
logo.
go through for that?
Oh, there's a company. I just saw
We're gonna
something
look
where you
it
can
up.
put
All right.
your pets on your outfits.
Oh, yeah. But like,
I got you, boo.
yep.
I'm so excited. It's going to be awesome.
So
Congratulations.
2023 or 2024.
Right?
So November 10th, 2014 is when I officially incorporated
November
TLS.
10th?
November 10th. Yes,
Oh.
I know, right? Weird.
Inside information.
Yeah.
on that date.
But yeah, November 10th, 2014 is when it officially incorporated.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can't plan that during
No.
the season.
And
we wouldn't do that.
So yeah, the party's going to be during the summer. Super excited. So look out for some invites to the wedding professionals out there.
yeah.
And that's going to do it for us.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's been good. This is what happens when we don't podcast for a while. We just kind of like
Talk about
word vomit.
talk about a bunch of various things.
Yeah.
So
hopefully, but we do know somebody that's listening.
we do. Yeah, we
so
have a couple.
shout out to Jonathan's mom.
Yay.
Yeah. wait. Her name is
Visha.
Visha. She actually played our episode with Jonathan during, I think she said she works from home and she had all these people over, or they
From
were
her
doing
yeah.
from her job. And she's like, hey, do you want to watch podcast? And they literally all sat down and watched our hour-long podcast with Jonathan.
And then when you got to the wedding, you're like, you're the podcast
As soon
lady.
as I walked in, she goes, you're the podcast. I'm like, hi. That's never happened before.
No, and it probably won't ever happen again. But that's going to do it. All right.
Yep.
This is The Scoop, Weddings Unveiled. Once again, Tim Schaus, your premier wedding DJ with TLS Entertainment. And of course, your non-retired wedding planner, Brandy Harlan.
Peace and chicken grease.
Oh,